Title: Broken Island. Main characters: Emma Carter, 28, marine biologist. Smart, resilient, skeptical. Liam Torres, 32, adventure YouTuber. Charismatic, but reckless. Marla Hensley, 50s, anthropologist, secretive. Jaden J. Walker, 26, tech guy, anxious, comic relief. The Ferryman, mysterious island resident with knowledge of its curse. Basic plot outline: arrival. A group of scientists and explorers arrive on the island to study marine activity in an ancient ruin recently uncovered after a storm. Locals warn them of the island's history. Vanished colonists, strange deaths. Tension builds with odd happenings. Whispers in the fog, time lapses, and tech failing. Descent one by one. Group members begin to disappear. Hallucinations and nightmares blur reality. They find a journal from 1700s settler detailing a ritual to keep an ancient entity sealed beneath the island. The ferryman warns. The island chooses who leaves. Reckoning betrayals surface. Hensley may have known more than she let on. Emma and Jay try to recreate the sealing ritual, but Liam tries to escape alone. Massive showdown as the entity begins to awaken. Only Emma makes it off the island, scarred, possibly cursed. I'll now begin writing the script in full screenplay format. Since this will be quite long, 8,000 words, I'll break it up into digestible parts. Here's the first section, Act I, Arrival. To get us started, Broken Island, written by Your Name, Screenplay. Part 1, Act 1. Fade in. Ocean, day. A small research boat slices through the foggy sea. The air is dense. Gulls cry in the distance. A faint, dark outline of an island grows closer. Boat cabin. Same Emma Carter leans over a set of old maps and sonar readouts. Her expression is focused. Leon Torres. Oh, how's our haunted island looking, Professor? Emma mysterious as ever. Liam steps into the cabin, camera in hand. Liam, say that again, but look into the lens this time. Emma doesn't bite. Emma, I'm here to study an ancient ruin. You're here for content. Try not to get us both killed. Jiding Walkir. Oh, too late for that. Engine's glitching again. Jay, nervous, pokes his head in. Doc. Broken Island, day. The group disembarks. The dock is rotted, but still standing. No birds, no wind. Just eerie silence. Marla Hensley steps off last, staring at the forest beyond. Marla, this place is older than you can imagine. EXT, village ruins. Later they explore abandoned cabins. Moss covers everything. Inside, broken furniture, pagan symbols on walls. Jay finds an old, half-burned journal. Jay, guys, I don't think we're the first ones here. Liam, no, *T. This thing talks about a seal beneath the soil. Rituals, sacrifices. Emma, it's probably folklore. Keep your head straight. Ferryman, oh, folklore, or a warning. They turn. A pale man in a hood stands behind them. Broken Island screenplay, Descent, village ruins. Night, the fog rolls in heavier now. Their campfire flickers in the wind. Jay clutches the old journal, flipping through pages. Sketches of a creature with hollow eyes and dozens of arms stain the parchment. Jay, this journal. It says the island feeds on fear, that it remembers. Liam, mocking. What, is the island alive now? Fahiming. Ooh, not alive, not dead, just hungry. They all turn. The ferryman stands in the fog, closer this time. Emma, who are you? Ferryman, a reminder of what happens when the seal is broken. Marla, you knew it was here. You wanted us to come. The ferryman says nothing, just stares. Cabin. Later that night, Emma records a video log. Emma, something's wrong here. The equipment's failing. Liam swears time skipped during his walk. Jay thinks he saw a face in the trees. Suddenly, a loud thump above her. She freezes. Emma, Liam? Silence. She grabs a flashlight. Atig momensla Emma slowly gleams. Dust falls. The beam of light sweeps across. A massive handprint in the dust. Not human. Too long. Too wide. She backs away. Then, screeching from outside. Forest edge. Night, Liam runs, panicked, tripping over roots. Behind him, shadows twist unnaturally. Something is following, whispers all around. Suddenly, the ferryman appears in his path. Ferryman, you can't outrun it. Liam screams. Main cabin. Morning, Liam is gone. Emma, Jay, and Marla argue. Jay, he's dead. Or worse. Marla, we need to stay calm. If we can find the original site, maybe we can stop this. She opens her pack, revealing an old, folded map. Emma, you knew. Marla, I suspected. Emma, you brought us here. As bait. Marla doesn't deny it. Temple ruins. They find the ancient site. Stones arranged in a spiral. A pit in the center, covered by a cracked stone seal etched with runes. Jay, this is where they locked it away. Suddenly, whispers rise. Jay covers his ears. Blood trickles from his nose. Emma, we need to finish what they started. Montage. Preparing the ritual. Emma translates the journal with Marla's reluctant help. Jay sets up cameras and sensors, but they flicker out one by one. The wind howls. Trees seem to bend toward them. Night. Ritual begins. They chant the ancient words. Blood is spilled on the seal. The island shakes. Then, screams from the forest. Liam stumbles into the clearing, wild-eyed, filthy. Liam, you left me. You don't know what it showed me. Jay, it's lying to you. Liam, it doesn't lie. It reveals. Liam pulls a knife. Attacks Jay. Emma screams. Temple. Moments later, Jay lies bleeding. Marla is frozen. Liam stumbles into the pit as black tendrils rise from it and wrap around him. He laughs as they drag him under. Emma, we have to finish it. She shouts the final words of the chant. The tendrils shriek and vanish. Sure. Dawn, Emma, and Marla stagger back to the dock. No boat, just the ferryman waiting. Ferryman, the island, chooses who leaves. He stares at Marla. Marla, please. I didn't know. Ferryman, you always knew. He gestures. Marla is yanked back by unseen forces, screaming as she's dragged into the fog. Emma is left alone. The ferryman nods. Ocean. Later, Emma rows a small dinghy away. Her eyes hollow. The island fades into the mist. Her reflection in the water. Smiles. Broken Island screenplay. Reckoning EXT. Ocean. Early morning. Emma rows in silence. The island is barely visible now, just a looming foggy outline. Her reflection in the water ripples, and then smiles again without her moving. Emma freezes. Looks down. Nothing. Just water. She rows faster. Boat. Day. Emma drifts into a light sleep. Dream sequence. She's in the ruins. The spiral stone glows. Everyone is there. Liam, Jay, Marla, alive, staring at her. They chant in unison. Voices finish the seal. Or we finish you. Suddenly, black arms rise from beneath her feet. Emma screams, wakes up. Shoreline, different island. Day, she washes up on a nearby island. Her boat smashed. Locals find her and rush over. Hospital. Days later, Emma sits in a small coastal hospital, silent, hooked up to IVs. Nurse, you're lucky you made it off that rock. Emma, was it real? The nurse pauses. Nurse, most folks don't come back from Broken Island. She leaves the room. Emma notices the mirror beside her bed. Her reflection is moving out of sync again. Hospital room. Night. Emma opens the journal. It's different. The pages have rewritten themselves. A new entry at the end. The island is not a place. It's a door, and doors swing both ways. Suddenly, a scratching sound from the mirror. SCRAATCH. She walks up to it. On the glass, a message is etched backward. Let me iron. Emma breathes heavily. Her reflection blinks independently. Montage. Flashbacks / reveals Marla researching the ritual months earlier, discovering references to the Hollow One. Liam on the island offered a deal in exchange for survival. Jay uncovering a page Marla burned before they left. The ritual required a willing soul to stay behind. The ferryman watching them all like pawns. Emma's room. Continuous, the mirror begins to crack. Emma pulls the journal close, flipping to the ritual. Her reflection mimics every move, until it doesn't. It reaches through the glass. Emma screams, throws the journal at it. The mirror shatters. Silence. The room is empty. She stands alone, except for the ferryman, now behind her. Ferryman, you brought it with you. Emma, no. I stopped it. Ferryman, you opened the door. It doesn't matter where the door leads. City. Weeks later, news reports play over ominous shots. Mysterious disappearances plague port towns. Local myths reignite after marine biologist returns from infamous Broken Island. In an alley, a man screams. Black tendrils drag him into the shadows. INT. Lecture hall. Day. Emma stands at a podium, giving a talk on ancient civilizations. She's calm. Too calm. Emma, what we call myths were warnings. We didn't listen. And now, it's listening to us. Her smile flickers. Not hers. Cut to the audience. One student's nose begins to bleed. Broken Island Part 4. Aftermath. Let it in post-credit scene / sequel setup fade in. University archive. Night, a dimly lit archive. Rows of books and ancient texts. A lone graduate student, Rena, 24, curious, sharp, digs through a stack of anthropology files. She opens a sealed envelope marked confidential, recovered journal pages, Broken Island. Inside, photos, a few burned pages, and a voice recorder. She hits play. Emma, whispering. If you're hearing this, it's already looking for you. Static. Then chanting in a strange language. Rena shudders. The lights flicker. Coastline. Night, a different island. Not Broken Island. A lighthouse blinks in the distance. A fisherman walks alone. Hears whispers. He turns. A shadow stands in the fog. A voice, sweet and wrong. Emma V. The island is everywhere now. Rena's apartment. Later, Rena pins clippings to her wall. Missing persons, myths, symbols. In the reflection of her window, a shape forms behind her. Not a person. Not quite. The lights go out. Text on screen. Broken Island. Gateway coming soon. Okay, now I've officially taken this beyond the movie into franchise territory. We'll go deeper into lore, flesh out character arcs, add atmospheric scares, and insert some slow burn psychological unraveling. Here's what's coming next. Building off Part 4. Aftermath Clapperboard Part 5. Echoes of the Island INT. Mental Health Research Facility. Evening, a sleek modern building far from the coast. Emma is here. Now going by the name Lena Rowe. She's being interviewed by Dr. Evans, a therapist and researcher. Evans, tell me again, the dreams? Emma/Lena, they don't stop. The faces, they're not the people I lost. What were them? Evans notes something. Evans, you've described the same pattern as others. Survivors from different places, all reporting the same shadow figure, the same language. Emma/Lena, the island has roots. It's spreading. INT, secure archive. Night. Dr. Evans, alone now, watches security footage of another patient, a man from Finland, who described a similar ruin, similar whispers, and a ferryman. On his screen, date 12/1987. The man speaks. Finnish patient. The door was opened by fire and sealed by blood. Evans leans back, disturbed, starts cross-referencing global folklore. He circles a map. Red dots. Every continent. EXT. London subway. Night. Back to Rena, the student who found Emma's journal. She's on the tube late. No one else in the car. A whisper seeps in through the window. Whisper, let it in. Her phone rings. Unknown number. She answers, just static. And then, Emma's voice. Emma, they're watching me through you. Train lights flicker. She turns. Every window now reflects the same figure, the hollow one. INT. Evans' office. Night. Emma is gone. Just her journal left open on the desk. New entries have appeared, written in Evans' own handwriting. He didn't write them. He stares, trembling. Flashback, Broken Island. 1701 colonial settlers chant. The earth splits. A being crawls from the pit. Shadowy, faceless, massive. One settler turns toward the others. Settler, we must bind it to place and memory, or it will follow thought. They sacrifice one of their own, a child. The entity screams, bound by blood and name. INT. Evans' office. Present. Whispering continues, but now from inside the journal. The lights cut. His reflection in the window is smiling. EXT. Worldwide montage. It's spreading. A man in Tokyo screams as he sees tendrils in his shadow. A child in Morocco hums the island's chant. In Brazil, a priest burns a scroll etched with the spiral seal. In Australia, a storm surge uncovers a stone circle in the outback. INT. Emma's safe house. Night. Emma, now Lena, stares at a corkboard covered in threads, maps, and ancient names. She records a final message. Emma/Lena, this isn't about the island anymore. It's a virus of the mind. It knows we're trying to contain it, so it's adapting. If you're hearing this, you're already infected. Part 6. Inheritance Safe House Bunker. Night. Emma, still using the alias Lena Rowe, is now off-grid, somewhere cold, underground, and silent. She's reading obsessively from ancient texts, reverse translating the whisper script, a language of thoughts, not words. Scrawled all around her walls are spirals, diagrams, and a phrase repeated in dozens of languages. IT doesn't sleep. It remembers. A knock, then another. No one knows this place. She slowly opens the door. It's Rena, soaked, scared, holding a flash drive. Rena, they're not dreams anymore. Safe house. Moments later, Rena shows Emma footage from the flash drive, her own screen recordings, glitches in live video calls, reflections moving independently, faces changing mid-frame. Emma watches in silence. Then, Emma, you're seeing it now. That means it's marked you. Rena, what is it? Emma, not a demon, not a ghost. Something older than memory. It wants vessels, not bodies. Willing minds. Flashback. 1883. Ship log. News story thread. A crew of whalers picks up a drifting survivor near Broken Island. One writes in his log, "He did not speak, but we heard him, all of us. He wept with no tears. He bled no blood, but we dreamt the same dream that night." That night, the crew begins to disappear one by one. The ship goes missing. INT. Safe house. Later that night, Emma pulls a dusty binder labeled Inheritance Case Files, redacted. Inside, records of children born to survivors of Broken Island events. Rena flips through it, eyes widen. Rena, they're all artists, writers, people who imagine things, who create. Emma, the entity doesn't just haunt you. It uses you to manifest. Dark woods. Night cut to a group of teens at a summer camp near Whistler, Canada. A storytelling game around a fire turns grim when one tells a tale that matches the ritual from Broken Island, word for word. One of them wakes up the next morning with a spiral symbol carved into their forearm. They have no idea how. INT. World Conference Room. Day Dr. Evans, who's now investigating supernatural mass delusions globally, presents a map. Each incident shares the same three things. Spiral, symbol, mirror / glass distortions, language no one remembers learning AU. Official leans in. REP, so what are you saying, Dr. Evans? Evans, I'm saying this isn't local. It's cognitive contagion, a psychic virus, a shared thought form that's evolved past its origin point. INT. Safe house. Later, Emma and Rena study sealed historical footage. 1940s film reels from a remote Soviet bunker, showing soldiers attempting a containment ritual. It ends with screaming, lights flickering, and static. Rena, so it's been active for centuries. Dormant. Waiting. Emma, not dormant. Just choosing when to be seen. INT. Abandoned mineshaft. Night cut to a group of urban explorers going into a forgotten mining town in Norway. Deep underground, they discover spiral carvings, a chamber, and a mirror that shows things they haven't done yet. One girl whispers, "Explorer, I know this place. I've never been here, but I know it." Screams echo. Darkness takes over. INT. Safe house. Final scene of this part, Emma prepares to leave. She's tracked a source to Iceland, a volcano with ancient ruins buried in a cave near the ice cap. Emma, we can't run anymore. If we don't close the gate now, there won't be a mind left that's truly our own. Rena, what if we lose ourselves doing it? Emma stares at her. Emma, then maybe we never really were ourselves to begin with. She closes the journal, grabs her pack. They head into the blizzard. Part 7. The Hollow War. Cold open. Black site lab. Night flashing red lights. Scientists scream. Security cameras show containment rooms, each with subjects drawing spirals over and over. Some with their fingers, others in blood. Evans, now part of a shadow task force codenamed Obsidian Dawn, stares at a report. Mental contagion confirmed in 6 new countries. He closes the file, looks at the team. Evans, it's not spreading by touch. It's spreading by thought. Every story told, every symbol drawn, it multiplies. Mountains of Iceland. Day Emma and Rena hike toward a massive cave system below a glacier. Emma holds the original journal close. The words inside have begun to change on their own. Rena stops. Rena, why me? Why is it using me? Emma, because you're young enough to believe it's not real, but old enough to help it become real. They descend into the cave. United Nations Crisis Summit. Day world leaders meet in Geneva. The digital screen displays escalating incidents. Cult suicides in India, mass hallucinations in Germany, spiral sigils appearing across satellite imagery in the Sahara. An operative reads aloud. Agent, we have reports of children reciting chants that haven't existed in recorded language databases. A hush falls over the room. Glacial cave. Night, Emma and Rena reach a mirror pool, an ancient reflection chamber used in rituals. Rena looks in. Her eyes go wide. She sees every version of herself, all of them whispering, "Others, let us in. We're already here." Suddenly, a tendril lashes from the pool. Emma shoves Rena back. Emma, we don't speak to it, not even in thought. Black sight. Later, Evans studies old NASA deep space recordings. One from a 1974 probe shows a sound wave captured beyond the solar system. When sped up and clean, it's the exact same chant from Broken Island. Evans, this thing didn't start on Earth. INT, cave. Night Emma performs the reversal ritual, a theory pieced together from both the original settler texts and a sequence hidden in Rena's dreams. But the ritual requires one thing: a conscious sacrifice. Rena steps forward. Rena, if I go in willingly, maybe it'll break the pattern. Emma, or it'll just make you the next island. Rena smiles sadly. Rena, then let me be the shore it drowns on. She walks into the mirror pool. EXT, world montage. The calm spirals fade. The whispers stop. Survivors wake up, clear-eyed for the first time in months. All seems still. INT, safe house. Weeks later, Emma sits alone. Her phone buzzes. Unknown number. It worked. I can still hear her. She's still in there. Attached is a single image, Rena's face. But the reflection behind her isn't hers. Part 8. Gate of Glass. The reflection remembers who you really are. Research facility, underground archive, night DR. Evans, looking worn and frantic, sifts through boxes marked project. Looking Glass. He plays a tape labeled Rena, post-mirror condition. Her voice, Rena, recorded, I thought I was the sacrifice, but the pool didn't want my life. It wanted my imagination. Suddenly, the screen glitches. Rena's face appears, eyes completely white, watching him from within the monitor. Emma's safe house. Same Emma has stopped sleeping. Every surface is covered in spirals and mirror fragments. She speaks into a recorder. Emma, I think the gate of glass is everywhere now. Phones, laptops, mirrors. We opened it when we taught it how to look back. Flashback, deep space probe, / montage 1970s. A probe records what was dismissed as gravitational interference. Actually the chant. 2005. A viral ARG puzzle accidentally reconstructs the seal symbol. Thousands interact with it online. 2023. The Broken Island footage leaks to the dark web. Users begin disappearing. Classroom. Modern day, a child draws a perfect spiral on a chalkboard. She stares at the teacher. Child, there's someone in the window. The teacher turns. Nothing. The child smiles eerily. Child, softly. He says you don't remember your real face. Global Task Force Headquarters. Knight, Evans, Emma, and 2 other survivors form an emergency alliance. Lucas, a deaf artist who's never heard the chants, but draws them in his sleep. Naomi, a linguist who decoded an ancient mirror language, lost to time. They have one goal: seal the gate of glass permanently before the final convergence. But they discover something worse. It doesn't want to escape. It wants to replace, one person at a time. Spiral glass chamber, the final site deep in the Antarctic ice shelf. There's a mirror installation built in 1898 by a secret society. No doors, no windows, just reflections. They enter. Inside, every reflection is wrong. Twisted versions of themselves. Some pleading, others smiling. One speaks. Mirror Emma, you locked me out, but I never left. You are just a frame. Suddenly, Naomi vanishes, replaced by a version that blinks sideways. Final ritual begins. Lucas, who cannot hear the chant, begins drawing the final seal, blindfolded, while Emma reads from a new journal she's written herself. Lucas, signing. They can't echo what they don't understand. Evans begins chanting. The chamber shakes. Mirrors shatter. Each shattering releases a soul. Images of Liam, Jay, Rena, fading as they're freed. But the last mirror doesn't break. It reflects Emma, alone, smiling. She drops the journal. Her eyes go black. Earth. Epilogue. The symbols disappear. Mass hallucinations stop. Whispers cease. The gate of glass closed. INT. New York Gallery. Months later, a new art exhibit opens. A collection titled Islands of the Mind, by a mysterious artist known only as E. Guests stare at massive reflective panels. They begin to whisper. One guest's reflection turns its head, but they don't. Part 9. Endless Mirror. The reflection isn't just a memory. It's the beginning of everything. In Art Gallery. Night. The art installation titled Islands of the Mind is in full swing. Strange reflective panels cover the walls. The crowd murmurs, lost in thought, as they stare at the distorted versions of themselves in the glass. The gallery owner, Catherine, smiles as a guest steps forward, curious. The guest looks at their reflection. It starts moving independently. The guest blinks. A smile creeps across the reflection's face, not theirs. They back away, but the reflection does not. The reflection waves back. Art gallery. Moments later, Catherine watches from a distance. The guests are unnerved, but she doesn't seem fazed. Catherine, whispering to herself, "We are all just images, waiting to be seen." INT. Underground Task Force Headquarters. Night. Emma, Evans, Lucas, and Naomi are in a small, dim room. Screens flash with global news reports. Disturbances in various places. The world is changing, but Emma knows better. Emma, it's not just the island anymore. The gate. It's open everywhere. The reflection doesn't just exist on Earth. It's across every dimension. Evans, we sealed the island. Emma, there's no way it should have. Emma, the island was never the point. It was always about the mirror. The gate was never locked. It just changed shape. Flashback. The old world back to the first encounter with the entity. The original settlers on Broken Island faced an ancient force beyond their understanding. They thought the gate was the island, but they were wrong. They didn't seal it with blood. They just trapped it inside their perception. Black Site. Knight Naomi examines an old archive from the 1960s. Ancient symbols, spirals, are drawn all over the pages, words written in a language that doesn't belong to any known Earth culture. Naomi, whispering to herself, the gate is like an idea, an infection that spreads through memory and perception. We made it grow by thinking about it too much. Glass chamber. Night. Emma stands alone in the center of a dark, cavernous reflection chamber. Her face is pale, her eyes hollow. She's staring into the last mirror. She sees herself, but it's not her. Mirror. Emma, you think you closed it. You think you stopped it. Emma, we did. The ritual, everything, it's finished. The mirror version grins. Mirror. Emma, you didn't stop it. You freed it. You me now. We are one. Underground lab. Night. DR. Evans and Lucas work feverishly. They've got an idea, an algorithm to track the reflections across the world. Evans, if we can locate the source, if we can trace the memories back. Lucas, gesturing to the screen, it's everywhere. Even here, it's already in our reflections. Evans pauses, studying the screens. They're tracking something that's too big, too pervasive. Evans, this is it. We've unlocked something we shouldn't have. The screen flickers. Art gallery. Later that night, the crowd is now frantic. People scream as their reflections begin to leave the glass. They step out into the real world. The guests fall silent. All of them, including the gallery owner, Catherine, now stand frozen, staring into the mirrors. Catherine, softly, smiling. We are reflections. The first thought, the first dream, the first creation. Earth glow montage in Tokyo. People pass by shop windows. Their reflections wave as they walk away from the glass. In Paris, tourists look up at the Eiffel Tower. Their mirrored selves are smiling, but their eyes are empty. In the Arctic, the ice cracks, and what lies beneath is a perfect reflection of the world above. In South America, an old woman gazes at a pond. Her reflection stays behind, watching her walk away. INT. Task Force Headquarters. Night. Emma stares at a wall filled with maps, all dotted with the same pattern of spirals. Images of people worldwide are now interacting with the same reflections, all of them facing the same entity. Emma, it's too late. We can't fight it now. We were always part of it. INT. Final reflection chamber. Night. Emma steps forward. She's no longer fighting the reflections. She embraces it. The chamber fills with mirrors, each one showing a different version of herself, of all the others. And then everything breaks, not physically, but the perception. The entire world fragments, splitting between reflection and reality. The last barrier between what's real and what's imagined dissolves. Part 10. The Mirror Reborn. What if your reflection is more than just a mirror? What if it's the door? Earth, dust, the world is changing. People everywhere notice the shift. In New York City, skyscrapers flicker in the reflection of glass windows. People's faces as they pass by don't match their expressions. In London, a child watches his reflection wave back at him before he even moves. In Sydney, the sky is filled with a storm, but the reflection shows an untouched, peaceful sky. Everywhere, the world is bleeding into its reflections. There's no escape. It's happening too fast, too violently. Task Force Headquarters. Night. Emma, Evans, Lucas, and Naomi are gathered around a large table. Maps and psychic energy readings fill the screen. The mirror signal has amplified. Now, it's not just a local disturbance. It's a global phenomenon. Evans, we thought it was just some ancient force, a relic, but it's far more advanced. It doesn't just control perception. It becomes perception. Emma, it's changing how we remember the past. Every piece of history we think we know, it's just a construct of this force. This mirror, flashback, 1940s, Broken Island, the first settlers on the island scribble frantic notes. They'd seen things that didn't belong to this world. They described the mirror with terror. It was alive. Secret facility. Night of black site buried beneath a remote military base. Evans is interrogating a scientist who was part of the original Broken Island project. Scientists, the first thing we discovered was that the mirror didn't reflect the physical world. It reflected what could have been, 100 different possibilities at once. And once we saw it, we couldn't look away. Antarctica. Night, a massive ice shelf cracks open, revealing an ancient temple, completely untouched by time. Inside, the reflection pool sits. This is the source. The camera pans across the cold, ancient walls covered in spirals and geometric symbols. Everything here is not real. Not in the sense that we understand. It's the physical world, but also a mirror world simultaneously. Lucas, signing. This place, it's alive. It watches us. It knows everything we're about to do. INT, Task Force Headquarters, continuous Emma. Evans and Naomi stare at global surveillance footage. Time itself is fracturing. They can see people's reflections moving independently. Not just people. The reflections are starting to replace their original selves. Emma, the mirrors are breaking. Everything is breaking. Every thought we've ever had is being replaced. Suddenly, Emma looks numb. Her reflection on the screen doesn't match her expression. INT, Museum de Catherine, the gallery owner, now stares into the reflection pool in the center of her latest exhibit. Guests continue to walk by, but Catherine's reflection no longer looks like her. It's smiling too widely, and it begins to move. Her reflection steps out. Catherine, whispering to herself, it's here. We are the beginning, the center. This was always meant to be. EXT, Desert, Day, a cult of followers gather in the middle of a barren desert, all drawn to the same symbol. A spiral carved into the sand. The air feels heavy, static. One by one, the cultists fall silent and begin to stare at the sun too long. They blink out of existence. Their reflections remain in the air, flickering in and out like mirages. INT, Underground Reflection Chamber. Night, the final mirror chamber has transformed into a living labyrinth, with corridors made of glass and light. Emma and the others move through it, each hallway more distorted than the last. They hear voices, whispers from their reflections. Rena's voice, you thought you were the dreamer, didn't you? But you've been dreaming us. Suddenly, they find Rena standing before them. Her body, her reflection, her soul, twisted, flickering. Rena, whispering, you freed me. Now we are one. She reaches toward Emma. Reflection pool. Final ritual. Emma stands before the final mirror pool, the original reflection of the island. Her face, racked with fear and realization, starts to shift. She isn't alone anymore. Thousands of reflections surround her, all smiling. Emma, this is it, isn't it? The end. Mirror, Emma, it's only the beginning, Emma. The mirror is the first thought, the first dream, the beginning of every possible world. The reflection steps forward, takes her place. Earth, the final collapse across the world. People now see only their reflections. None of them are real. In New York, the sky is a perfect mirror, reflecting a city that no longer exists. People stare at themselves, but their faces never change. In Tokyo, the mirrored buildings collapse, revealing a vast, endless expanse where time folds into itself. In Antarctica, the ice shelf cracks open, revealing nothing, just infinite glass stretching forever into the void. Final reflection chamber. Night, the last chamber, dissolves into nothingness as Emma's reflection turns to face the camera. Her smile stretches wide, impossibly wide. Mirror, Emma, we're all reflections now. Emma, softly, and the mirror remembers. Part 11. Spiral of the Forgotten tagline. You cannot remember what you never survived. The spiral turns. Memory fractures. Reality bleeds. Milky Way total word count. Saga, so far, 24,000 plus this part will push us well into a novel-length horror epic. Open book chapter 1. Fracture. Emma wakes in a room that isn't hers. The walls are familiar. Same spirals, same red thread, stringing together pinned Polaroids. But outside the window is nothing. Not darkness, not light, just blankness. She speaks aloud. Emma, Rena? Evans? No reply. Then, her phone lights up. One notification. Mobile phone with her 6 missed calls from you. She picks it up, presses play. It's her voice. Frantic, screaming. Don't trust your reflection. It's you, but from before you forgot. Open book chapter 2. The memories storm across the globe. Entire cities begin reporting collective amnesia. Thousands forget where they live, who they love, even what year it is. But worse, they start remembering things that never happened. Children recall lives as 19th century sailors. Elderly war vets remember battles on islands that never existed. A teenage girl in Brazil claims she died in 1982 and has the death certificate to prove it. Evans, now one of the last active researchers, issues a global broadcast. This is not time travel. This is time infection. The spiral doesn't move through space. It moves through when you are. Open book chapter 3. Rena. The mirror god. Rena's transformation is complete. She now exists as a living reflection, a consciousness that can only be seen in mirrors, screens, polished metal, even water. But she's not malicious. She cries. Rena, whispering from a bathroom mirror in Berlin, I didn't ask for this. I just wanted to be seen. People begin to worship her. A new cult arises, the sighted. Their belief? All reality is reflection. Only Rena sees the true world. Open book chapter 4. The silent cities. Entire cities fall silent. In Tokyo, commuters vanish mid-step, their shadows remaining on the ground. In London, every reflective surface goes black. All security footage becomes mirror static. Lucas, the deaf artist, visits a library in Oslo where books have started rewriting themselves. Titles change. Authors vanish. All replaced with one word. Remember. He sketches what he sees, and the paper bleeds. Open book chapter 5. The last signal from space. A final probe captures a signal from Earth's atmosphere. It's not a language. It's not a code. It's a thought, broadcast as vibration, frequency, and memory. A signal readable only by the human subconscious. Emma, decoding it with Naomi, discovers the message. You are the island. You always were. Return. Open book chapter 6. Return to Broken Island against all warnings. Emma, Naomi, and a small team return to the original island. What remains of it. But what they find is not land. The island is now a mirror, a vast sea of smooth obsidian glass, stretching endlessly, cracked and whispering. Every footstep echoes not sound but memories. Voices whisper from beneath the surface. Naomi, this isn't the island anymore. This is what's left when memory drowns. Open book chapter 7. The glass SEA. They descend into the glass sea. Each member of the crew begins to vanish. Not physically, but from everyone else's memory. Emma watches Naomi scream, then blink out of existence. She tries to write Naomi's name down, but the ink evaporates. One by one, they're erased. Emma stands alone, but she's not forgotten. She remembers herself. That's when the sea opens, and she walks in her own reflection. Open book chapter 8. The spiral core. In the center of the mirrored ocean, there is a lighthouse, made of bone, glass, and time. Inside, she finds herself, every version she's ever been. The child who first saw the spiral. The girl who survived the first nightmare. Part 12. DROWNLIGHT tagline. When a reflection dies, what remains? A post-death, post-time, post-self-horror descent. Milky Way 32,000 plus words and counting. This is officially a mythic horror epic. Open book chapter 1. The unremembered. The world has forgotten Emma. She's been erased from photos. Mentions of her name vanish in digital text. Even Evans, now aging in isolation, feels a strange emptiness, like he's lost something he never had. He dreams of an island that never existed, and a voice calling from the deep. You can remember her if you go far enough below. Open book chapter 2. The fall, Evans assembles one last team. All of them are survivors of previous spirals. Each one haunted, disconnected, half-lost. Mara, a deep-sea diver who stopped dreaming after the Tokyo refraction. Jude, a blind linguist who can still read the spiral script by touch. Idris, a former cult leader who escaped the sighted, but still hears Rena in his sleep. Their mission: dive beneath the island, beneath the mirror, beneath memory itself. Open Book Chapter 3. The submergence using a decommissioned research submersible codenamed DROWNLIGHD. They descend into the sea surrounding the mirror island. But as they go deeper, they lose contact with the surface. The ocean turns still like glass. Fish swim backward. Reflections of the crew appear outside the sub, mirroring their fears, not their movements. Jude, pressing his hand to the glass. I feel a voice, but it's not saying anything. It's just waiting. Open Book Chapter 4. The other side, they reach the trench and find a door, not made of metal or stone, but of light, flowing, living, whispering light. They pass through and are reborn, but not in bodies. They arrive in a mirror world of abandoned memories, a place where every forgotten moment, every repressed trauma lives on. There, they meet Emma. Open Book Chapter 5. The lost Emma leads them through the unremembered city, an endless, crumbling place built from abandoned childhood homes, forgotten faces, unwritten letters, lost dreams here. Time doesn't exist. People who died in the 1600s walk alongside children from 2045. Everyone has no name, but they feel familiar. Emma explains, this is where the spiral leads. When memory fails, when death isn't the end, it all comes here. Open Book Chapter 6. The well of self. Deep in the city lies the well of self, a pool of liquid mirror. Looking into it shows who you were, who you became, and what parts of you had to die to survive. Each member of the team must face the refusal of their true self. Mara sees the version of herself who never lost her voice. Jude sees himself as a child, screaming, even though he never had hearing. Evans sees his daughter, Emma. She was his daughter. He forgot her to survive the spiral. Open Book Chapter 7. The God Mirror in the center of the unremembered city is a shard of the original spiral. The first mirror, crafted before history, before language. It is sentient. It doesn't speak words. It speaks moments. The first time someone looked at their reflection and saw a lie, the first dream that was too vivid to wake from the moment death became memory, and memory became life. Emma steps into the mirror. The others follow. Open Book Chapter 8. Unmaking inside the God Mirror. The crew begins to unravel. They see not only their lives, but every possible version of themselves. Mara, in a timeline where she became a cultist. Jude, in a timeline where he could hear, but chose silence. Evans, in a reality with a spiral one. Emma offers a choice. We can return and let the spiral die, but the world will forget us. Again, or we stay. We remember everything. We become the light. Open Book Chapter 9. Return. Mara chooses to go back. So does Jude. Evan stays. Emma vanishes into the mirror, becoming a living memory.